gotta be right here, so you're gonna have to move. Okay.
I would say it's impressive. I would.
You're gonna stay right there.
And Brad, if you want to
All right.
sit on top of it. I mean, I don't think there's a problem with sitting right now. Like,
But I mean, like if you come down to the carpet, you'll actually get to do stuff.
Yeah.
bring your this kind take that with you and your pencil.
You need your pencil and your vocabulary sheet. You gonna need a clipboard here in a minute. Okay. So if you can't see, so Sam, that would be you. Rebecca, probably you. You need to get to where you can see. Obviously.
I mean,
Okay.
we could have went blind.
I doubt that. All right, y'all pass some clipboards around. All right. So, what did we do yesterday? What was our whole experiment or lab about?
No, wait, but hang on.
We put what?
Water into the sand, like it made like a river.
Okay, so we made kind of a river, so we could see runoff. Weathering, deposition. So, what did we start with at the top? Okay, so we had to push it up into a hill, and then what did we do?
A little trench or that.
Okay, so we made a river. Okay. Okay, so we put water in the cup and let it flow down our hill to see if what would happen. Okay, and so that was called what? The sand did not get it. So the moving of sand to somewhere else, that's called what? Deposition. Okay, so what else? What other term did we talk about yesterday other than weathering? Erosion. Okay, and what is erosion? Breaking down things. Okay, so today we're going to do something a little different, but kind of similar, and I'm just going to have my hands in it because the sand is wet today. But we're going to talk about valleys. So who can find valley on their chart? Anybody?
There's canyon.
Did we not do valleys? No.
There's canyon.
Is this the empty space?
It might have been. Okay, well, let's start with canyons then. I know that one's on there. Kristen, what's canyon?
Often with
Right, okay, so a canyon is a deep valley. So we'll get to valley here in a minute. It has deep sides. Okay, so that means it goes way down. And it often has a what going through it, Tristan? A river. Okay? So a valley, the way you can remember that, obviously, it starts with a V. It kind of looks like a V, but it's got like mountains or hills. It comes down, and it has a river flowing through it. Now, canyon. Who can give me an example of a canyon? Isaiah? The Grand Canyon, yes. Okay, so on the sides of the Grand Canyon, obviously you know that it goes down way deep, but the sides aren't smooth. Now, what do you think caused the sides of the Grand Canyon to not be smooth? Erosion, okay, because we know erosion is what? Breaking down. Okay. It could have been. Right, so all the rain and all the other elements, or the weather, broke it down. Okay, Sam? Okay, could have been. So lots of things could have happened. Today, we're going to make this into a canyon and a valley. We're going to see... What?
How are you going to do it?
Well, I'm going to show
You
you.
spread it to the sides.
I'm going to show you.
You spread it to the sides.
So, Brett, while you're up there, can you get me water? And a ruler while you're back
I
here?
didn't know you just had a
Oh, maybe. Okay, but while this sand is wet, it's going to be a lot easier to, yeah. So, we're going to make a canyon. Now, what is a canyon again?
That's what turns around.
Thank you.
Don't knock the water down.
Yeah, don't knock the water. Okay, so
A
a
canyon
canyon.
is a deep valley with deep side and outside river.
Okay, so what we're going to do is I've got, okay, how? How do you think I should do it?
Why did you cut the middle?
Okay, well, I'm not going to karate chop the
Well, just
middle.
do this. Like you doing on the sofa.
But you're saying like what? Cut it in half? No, I don't want to get the ruler dirty. Okay, so you're saying cut it in the middle, okay, and then it has a river running through it, okay. So now let's move this extra sand out of the way so we can see what happened.
No.
No. All right. Now,
Are you sure it's like at the end of it?
like this. Well, okay. Now a canyon it goes on forever. Well, not forever, but you know.
time.
So it goes on for a while, but it's still like deep sides throughout, and then it finally ends somewhere. Somewhere.
In the ocean.
Don't know where. But what would that be
At
called?
the end.
What would a canyon be called?
A canyon.
We talked about it on Tuesday. Or no, Wednesday.
A lot of stuff.
A watershed, because what is a watershed?
A thing that connects. Yeah, it's a piece of land in between two like rivers.
Yeah, it's a
Okay,
land there.
so why is that important?
Because it would probably, the water would run outside.
Okay, the water would rise higher if it wouldn't move. Okay, so a watershed is a piece of land, an area of land that helps water do what? Spread to other creeks, rivers, streams, whatever. Okay, now, here in a few minutes, I'm going to have you fill out your lab sheet, okay? Now, who thinks they know what's going to happen here? Brett.
You're gonna pour the water and then the sand is gonna spread right to the right. Or the sand is gonna move.
Take one and pass it around.
If you pour the water,
If you pour the water,
the sand will move
then the sand will move further away, okay? Now, everybody's going to have a different prediction or a guess. So, you just need to write down your hypothesis. So, somebody might say that the water is just going to flow through the little river and it's not going to do anything to the sand. You just need to figure out what you think is going to happen. Okay? I'll give you a second to do that. They're coming around. What do you think is going to happen? When I pour the water through the cup
On the side that says
hypothesis,
so hypothesis is the one that you're
I mean, that's typically how it's written, an if-then statement. Because you're saying, if this happens, then this is going to happen. Or if I do this, this is going to happen.
if we
Okay, we're going to go over the question here in just a second.
pour the water.
Okay, so what did I ask you to make a guess of?
What would the water do?
Okay, so for our question, what would a good question be? Does what?
Does water affect the form of sand?
Okay. Does water affect the form of canyons? Okay, what else? I need to be more specific.
Does water affect the movement of soil?
Okay, does water affect the movement of soil, sand, rock, whatever? Okay. Anybody else? Okay, so put one of those questions down. Okay? And make sure you have your hypothesis.
You can say the moon in the sand. You can say how a canyon is formed.
Now, I for one have no idea what's going to happen.
That's what
Because I just do know.
it's called YouTube.
Okay, so is everybody ready?
Maybe.
No.
Okay, now, I'm going to pour the water, but I don't want everybody just crowding around in front, okay? We will take turns to see so everybody can see what happens, okay? So here I go. I don't know, 'cause it's just the water trying to get through the hole. Okay, now I see something that reminds me of what happened yesterday. Does anybody see it?
Erosion. Deposition.
Okay, I see a lot of deposition down here at the end of the river. Okay, so why do you think that is? Even though I had like a straight river, it wasn't on an angle like what we had yesterday.
Now it's
It is. It's broken down. Okay. So what do you notice about the sides of the canyon as well? It's what? More steeper. Okay. Because why? Right. So the water kind of broke down or compacted the sand a lot. So they're steeper. Okay. And then we talked about the deposition. So it moved the sand down at the end. Okay. Anybody else have any observations? Anything else? Brett? Anything else you noticed? Do what? It made the sand more wet. Okay. Yep. Alright, now, one thing, now listen, one thing that I want you, and I'm going to turn the fan around here in a second, that I want you to really take note of. When we talked about a canyon, I was over here. When we talked about a canyon and what a canyon is, what was one of our characteristics of the sides of the canyon? Okay, so it's rocky. It's not smooth. They've got it's broken down. It's rough on the edges. Okay, it's not just smooth. Okay, and why did we say that the edges are kind of rough and rocky?
Because of erosion and broken.
Right, because of erosion and the weathering and everything. Okay, so over here we started with smooth sides on our canyon, but now what do you notice like right here?
It's a kind of
It is. It's kind of hollowed out in some areas, and it's rocky in some areas. Right. So that would be more weather. So that's the water is breaking into the sand and gonna crush up more of that.
Yeah.
Sand and gonna cause more cracks and everything.
When it gets cold, it's freezing.
Okay. Y'all want to do a mountain or a valley?
Mountain.
Mountain. Okay.
No volcano.
Yeah, volcano.
Not a volcano. Okay, so somebody
can make a
describe a
volcano.
mountain for me. Raise your hand.
is like a big hill.
Okay, a mountain's a big hill.
A big lava.
Do what?
I said a mountain is a taller hill than a hill.
Okay, a mountain. What is a mountain typically made up of?
Rock.
Dirt, rock, stuff.
Okay.
No.
Grass. Random crap.
Yeah.
Random crap.
Okay. So y'all listen to me. We're gonna do both at one time. Okay. We're gonna do a valley with a mountain.
So pretty much.
You have to touch the other side.
No.
Okay.
Nice.
Tristan,
Let's
can you
not
be very
touch that.
responsible for me real quick?
No.
Okay, hey, did I need any of that signed off? Hey. Okay, I need you to be very responsible, and I need you to go over to that crate over there that has the sand in it, and I need you to get the red cup, and that has, and I need you to put sand in it. And bring it.
And don't.
I think I'm good with water right now.
Yeah, I think she'll be good for
Okay,
a
so
while.
question: why am I adding sand to this?
Because it's really liquidy.
They make it out.
It is too moist, so I've got to add
So
sand
just the parts every time.
to dry.
Wait, what
Okay.
did you add that sand? Then what did that sand just become moist because the other sand is moist?
Okay,
There you
good.
go, now it's
So
moist
look,
again.
as soon as I put that in there, can you get just a little bit more? Thank you, sir.
Just bring the whole thing.
No. Okay, so as soon as I put that sand in there, what do you notice now?
harder.
Right.
You got to stand in the feet.
Right. Okay. So while I'm mixing this up real quick, y'all can go ahead and fill in the materials part on your sheet. All of the materials. So what all have we used?
A red cup with no hole.
Tinfoil,
Clear cup with a
whatever.
hole.
Alright, list them yourselves. Thank you. Okay, so basically, our whole objective for this lesson is to see what? What's our question? What's it is a temporal plan. Okay, our whole question is: does water affect movement of land, or does water affect what?
Water affects.
Does it affect the different landforms that we're talking about? Okay. So our whole objective for this lab is to see how it affects those. Okay, so
Destroys it.
yes.
Oh, okay. What about your ring?
Your pencils, yes, because you needed a pencil yesterday.
What about your rings? Do those count?
No.
It's on her. Just put hands.
Just put hands. Okay. Yes. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna make a little mountain. I feel like I'm at the beach, you know, building me a sandcastle. Alright. Well, I can't make it too big. Alright. This is more difficult than you think.
More dry sand.
Dry, get it all dry.
Destroy
Well, if it's all dry, can dry.
If it was dry, you couldn't make it out.
Y'all bear with me, okay? Okay, there we go. Okay, y'all said my mountain was deformed, but are all mountains like perfect?
Yeah.
They could be pointing the black area.
That looks like a mountain.
Mountains are different. Mountains are different.
Y'all are so mean to me. Okay, Kylie Gill, can you please put my ruler where it belongs so I can pour some water? Back over here.
Right on top of that.
Yeah, there we go.
Everybody else.
Okay, so what is our whole goal? Okay, well, what am I about to do?
You're pouring water in a cup.
To see what?
So we can
see what it does. See erosion.
So we can
Okay, now,
erosion on the mountain.
what do you think's gonna happen?
It's just to make a moat around the
Let me dry it out a little bit.
It looks like.
Okay,
It looks like
You know what? It's
I'm seething in the mountain. Okay, what, somebody raise your hand and see what do you think's gonna happen? What do you think's gonna happen to the mountain?
It's gonna stay still.
Jaden, thank you for raising your hand.
The mouse is gonna stay still, but the
They're gonna kind of get all okay, Kylie.
maybe that the water's gonna go through the mountain and make it fall.
Okay, so you think it's gonna make the mountain fall, Jordan?
I think the mountain.
I'd like to see you make a better mountain. Okay.
So that when the water comes down, like the side's gonna go down and it's gonna be dirty water.
So down here. Okay, but what's that called? But what's that called?
Now,
No. When water moves something somewhere else. Deposition. Because it's
Whatever that is.
depositing. Okay, Joseph.
I think there's gonna be a hole in the mountain.
Okay, so you think a lot can happen, honestly.
Great.
I think there's not gonna be
Renisha, what do you think's gonna happen?
It's gonna be a cave.
There's not gonna be
Well, if we're being honest, I don't know what's going to happen.
Your mountain is going to
I think the mountain is gonna
die.
It's so cold.
Okay.
now.
Alright, well, y'all ready to look?
The mountain is going to die.
Y'all are so mean.
Goodbye, mountain.
Alright, here we go.
Oh, we're doing it. It goes in water. It's a mountain.
Kill the mountain. Kill it. And now we're making a dirty water river. Yay!
Are y'all saying what's
Water is moving.
Yo, the water is killing whatever is in there.
Okay, so what did that water just create? A river.
A river.
It moved sand, so
It
through
would have killed some
deposition.
animals.
Okay, so how did it create that river though?
Water.
Okay, but what action did it do? Like what?
A valley. The water ran down into a valley.
What's that called though? Okay, weathering. So,
Erosion.
and it eroded away.
Watershed.
It deposited sand.
Y'all were just yelling out terms at me. Okay.
Watershed.
Shh, y'all listen to me. Hey, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, quiet. Okay. We've said that the water, it deposited down here, so that's deposition. Okay, so it moved sand to another area. We also know that the water created a river through erosion and weathering. It created what? It created bubbles. Okay, but guess what? Guess what didn't happen?
Your so-called mountain.
The mountain didn't die.
Now, why do you think that happened? Whoa!
Because the bottom was sand. The water was mountain.
Brett.
Because it had too much sand.
No.
Your circle mountain was too
Compact.
Okay, so what do we know about mountains? We know that they're made out of rock. They're solid.
Water or gas.
Right. So, what do you think if weathering would occur over and over and over again for hundreds and hundreds of years? What do you think? Erosion. Erosion would happen. It would kill. Y'all listen to me. You're not listening. Erosion would continuously happen and erode away at this mountain. Okay, so if I were to sit here and keep on pouring water and keep on pouring water, eventually my mountain would get smaller. What? Leave my mountain alone.
Does that look like a mountain?
Leave my mountain alone. Okay.
Okay, so even Jake just got here and he said it doesn't look like a mountain.
Looks like it's up in the ground.
Okay, moving on. Okay, so you have your materials. Alright, now I want you to write down the procedures that I just did. There can be more than 5. That's just kind of the order.
Make it so cold. You have to start.
At the start of at the start of what we did. What did we do? Well, what was the first thing that we looked at? What landform?
Sand.
What landform?
Canyon.
Canyon.
Oh.
Make a canyon.
Okay, so we made our canyon. And then what did we do? Make river. Then what did we do?
Then we made mountains. Then we made a mountain. Then we watched it.
Observed. What did we watch?
Observed.
We
observed
put the hole in on top of the ruler. We put the hole at the back of the ruler and then pour water out the red cup into it.
Or you could summarize that and say poured water. And then you observed.
What? Observed.
Okay. So after you observed, what did we do next?
Made a
Mountain.
Made a mountain.
Okay.
Put water down. Make mountain.
Yeah.
No, you may not. I'm taking off points if you put mountain.
It's true
though. That's not a mountain.
How is that not a mountain?
You know what? How is it a mountain?
That's a real question. How is it a mountain? You have glasses on, so you should.
No, like the
Just finish your thing.
I'd rather get a B.
Thank you, Kylie.
Yeah, mountains are
She
flat.
thinks it's
Wait, so you can't do
Mountains are flat.
You can't do. What's mountains are not flat. Oh my gosh!
See, that's not a mountain.
No, it's not.
You agree?
That's a true mountain.
You'll finish your procedure.
Make mountains of water.
Y'all need to come on if y'all want to go outside recess. Alright, so we made a mountain, and then what did we do?
We dumped water.
Okay.
And we watched it happen.
Okay.
Yeah, we dumped the water.
But what's that called? Not just watching.
Observe.
Okay. Do you have all this down?
So much water.
Alright, now, your next part.
Is a dependent variable.
Okay, so that's what we changed. Okay, so what?
Change the form of the landform. Change landform.
You changed the landform.
Well, it was still we.
We used hands.
Okay?
Did he get
And then our dependent variable
Oh.
is what we
Water.
measured. We didn't. Okay, so what were we actually looking for?
That was sands.
Somebody raise your hand. Isaiah.
If the water was gonna move the sand or not.
Right. So we were measuring if the water moved or affected or changed our land.
Our question, like if the water. Okay, so back to the question.
So we do the water.
If water changed the land. Okay.
So if
Now. And if you flip it over on the back, there's a part for data. That's where I want you to sketch out one of the landforms that we did. You can do my mountains.
Mountain.
If I'm gonna draw a mountain, I'm gonna draw a mountain.
But I want you to show what actually happened to that land. Y'all, I am taking this up for a grade, so I need y'all to actually do it correctly.
That's an A.
I'm not grading based on your ability to draw, but I want you to show me what happened to that landform. So if you do a canyon, then I want you to show the river flowing through. Okay. I want you to show me the river flowing through the canyon. If you do the mountain, then I want you to see that to the side, the water created a river.
Sketching the mountain.
You sketch whichever way.
The sketching the mountain.
So you need.
It was like right on the side.
Okay, for the graph, I want you to skip that part because we didn't have any data to actually graph. Okay, and then the conclusion, I want you to go back to your seat and answer those questions independently. Okay, that we changed our land. I'm trying to rinse my fingers off. What was our question? What were we trying to say? Okay, so you learned that water. You better not put that. Listen, I want everybody, if you do it, but you better have some actual academic answer there too.
I said 10, like
You can make the joke, but I want to know what you learned about landforms or erosion.
So we put like that if you pour water, like if water comes down on one spot, you can move it to the spot.
Yep.
Okay, I have to wait.
What's the word?
K5 double loop. Or is it? Well, you close it so fast.
Okay, so for that we do that because of
from this?
erosion and weathering, water.
I already knew most of this stuff. So,
Well, I wouldn't do that anyways, but thank you.
Let's see here what it means. I guess.
Did you learn about how water moves?
Wait, the claim was back here, right?
Yeah, so back there it's talking about. Okay, your claim is what? What are you thinking is going to happen?
That's the water.
Okay, so you know that because of this lab, that water does what? That's what I'm working on right now. Okay, so because of this lab, what did you learn? Water does what? Okay. What'd you say?
Change land.
Right.
What? Just put mist in the picture. Is that already thought I put mist in? I'm putting mist in the picture. Hey, questions.
Alright, y'all take about 4 minutes to finish up.
I think he was a friend playing house.
Why does it do that?
I said she.
Okay, so think back to our Nearpod that we did. Or think back to your chart and your definition.
The watershed. The watershed was the sand to a different spot.
I really don't know. So think back to your notes or that Nearpod that we did the other day. How does that help your claim?
Please pull a sentence from notes to explain how this works.
You were in here, so you need to. He can't do anything now.
Well, could have or did.
Well, if you just got here, I would say you probably need to walk down to the carpet and sit and have conversation. Why is it that so she can explain what it is, so you'll
Just
know
sit
what's
and think.
right
Okay, did anything go wrong during this experiment? No. Okay, what could have gone?
The mountain.
The mountain could have been worse.
Could be worse.
Totally true.
The sand could have not moved, and then we wouldn't have any. Okay. Alright.
Probably finished from the
Oh my goodness. Okay, if you're finished, go put it back on the back table. Why did it?
Do we have to do the reasoning?
Luckily, she got a reasoning.
Miss Middleton, do we have to do the reasoning?
Look at her reasoning. She was like, is there any?
We don't have any notes. But we don't have.
Alright, y'all gonna have
Kind of just saw stuff, so you can make a note.
Oh, there's sand on the My foot's asleep.
Water.
Okay, so evidence. Use like your notes or because I observed this class. I know that this happened. I know. Why does it happen? Why does it
I have a pencil and I'm writing.
Why does it happen? Why did that happen?
Me, I don't
Why did what? Why did the
Like, and you might want to edit this.
What terms have we been discussing?
Your battery's
Can
dying.
you click OK, please?
Yep. And now power it off.
No, don't do it.
Power it off. It worked.
Just leave it. Okay. Why?
Can we close this now? It's really annoying.
Yes. Yeah.
My reason is
Why did it do that? Okay, and then I will need some assistance. I need somebody to get this rule. I need somebody to get this cup. No. Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. Alright. And then, yeah, I'm good. I just gotta wait for my foot to wake up. Wake up, what? Okay. Can you click stop on that?
right here.
Yep.